Hey, 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 beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Listen, I am your girl, Coach TaShon, your marriage communication coach, here for Talk It Out Tuesday. Welcome to the TLC community. Listen, it's a beautiful day here in the A. We had a little sprinkles and so forth, a little sprinkles here and there, but it's still a beautiful day. Would always tell you all. As long as I'm breathing, I don't care what the weather is. It's a beautiful day. So listen, join, come in. Welcome to TLC community. It is Talk It Out Tuesday. That means it just a little snippet of what we talked about on Marriage Monday. So what I need you to do, get that notebook, get that notebook, get the notebook and your pen or your pencil, whatever you choose to write with, because your notes. We're talking about what yesterday we were talking about making that connection when it's silence, right? So today we're going to talk about why, we're going to put it all together. And if you're ready to shift from the surface level of that conversation, from that surface level silence we talked about yesterday, to real honest conversations. This is what we're going to do today. Talk It Out Tuesday. We're here to apply what we learned on Marriage Monday. Now, if you didn't join me on Marriage Monday yesterday, it's okay. I got you covered. Going back over to my post on my page, hit replay, and you can get the notes. But today we're applying what we talked about. All right. So number one, go ahead and get ready, because what do I tell you? I don't like keeping you long, because you got stuff to do. You and your boo, you got stuff to do, right? Yep, you do, right? So listen, number one, let me put this up for you so that you can see and get the notes, so you won't be like, she was going too fast. I didn't even hear. I didn't even write. Yes, it's right there at the bottom. No excuses. All right. So listen. All right, now, couples, let's do this. Let's do this, because again, I am your girl, your coach, your marriage communication coach, Coach TaShon, and I am here to bridge that communication gap in your marriage, 7 years plus. I come to you real, honest, transparent as all. I am that coach, right? So I always tell you, you may have a little break in a little gap in the communication department with you and your boo, but that does not mean that your marriage is over with. Okay, it does not mean that your marriage is over with. Just need a little support. That's it. It's not a biggie, right? It's not complicated. Remember, I talked about that yesterday. It's not complicated. We make communication comprehension so complicated, but it's not. It really isn't. So number one, we're going to identify the conversation you've been avoiding. Remember, we talked about that yesterday, that avoidance, right? So what's that one topic you keep sweeping under the rug? Avoiding it isn't peace. Remember that it is not peace. It's just a ticking clock. I want you to write it down, pray on it, and choose a gentle moment to bring it up later this week. Okay. Remember that whole silent, I ain't gonna talk to him. He should have known this, that, another. Boom, boom, boom. Nah. We're not doing the silent treatment, the silent game, the whole don't say nothing. No, we're not doing that. That's part of communication. You gotta talk. You're grown. You've been married to this person for 7 years plus. You mean to tell me you can't talk? Come on now, that sounds like a elementary problem. You can't talk because you don't want to, because you're being stubborn. Come on now, I'm gonna keep it real, 100 with you. Don't do that to your boo. That's not fair, right? So instead of avoiding those conversations, you're going to choose that moment. Remember, I told you every moment is not that moment to have a talk. Sometimes you have to wait, you have to pause, you have to take a step back and say, wait a minute, is this the right time to have this conversation? And it's okay. You don't have to have the conversation right there. If it's not an emergency, y'all know what I mean. If it's an emergency, that's a different story. But if it's not an emergency, you don't have to have that conversation right there and then. Take a step back, breathe, gather your thoughts. Because when you have this conversation, you want to be on the up and up. You want to be so transparent and gentle at the same time when you're trying to have this conversation. All right. So listen, I want you to try this TLC move with your boo. All right. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you get mad. Mm-mm. I want you to set a 15-minute no phone zone with your spouse. No phone zone. That means cut off the phone, put it on DND, right? You're gonna or turn it off completely. And you're going to share one thing you've been hesitant to say with love and clarity. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. And it's all out of love, you guys. It's all out of love. You're going to set aside that time because, again, that silence does not mean that it's peace. It does not mean that you're at peace with your spouse. Does not mean that you're at peace with the situation. That means you're just avoiding it. And then guess what happens? That resentment sets up and it starts to fester, right? Because again, you're holding this in, you're holding it in your head, you're holding it in your heart, and then something else will happen, and then that's when you have this huge blowout, and then it becomes about you thinking that you're arguing over because your boo got the last piece of potato chip, right, and crumble the bag up, and you start fussing about that. Guess what? It ain't about the potato chip, the last chip in the bag. It's about that thing that you've been avoiding talking about and wanting to bring it up. So don't go to bed all huffing, puffing, mad. If there's something on your heart that you need to talk about, if that's that conversation, tell your boo, talk to your boo. Y'all in this thing together. Okay. So identify that conversation you've been avoiding. That's what you want to do. Okay. Number two. Told you we're going fast because Talk It Out Tuesday. That's when you're applying what we talked about on yesterday. Okay. Here we go. Number two. I want you to stop expecting mind reading. Mind reading. Stop expecting your spouse to read your mind. If it matters to you, it deserves to be communicated. Your spouse cannot meet needs you never voiced. Plain and simple. Your spouse is not God. Your spouse is not a psychic. Your spouse is not a magician. None of that. Don't expect your spouse to know what you're thinking. He should know what I'm talking about. He should know what I'm thinking. That what I don't get it. I'm not sure why and how we have this expectation, but no, don't do that. So listen, this is this I want you to try this TLC move with your boo. I want you to finish this sentence and say it out loud. All right? It would help me feel more connected if we could, and I want you to fill in the blank. Now, it may sound corny to you, right? It may sound corny to you, but guess what? It's okay. It's okay, right? It's okay. It's not corny. It's just something that you got to get used to. All right. Yes, if you have questions, and I want to shout out my sponsor partner, Swag Her Magazine and the Swag Her community. Thank you so much. You guys make sure that you connect with Swag Her magazine and the community and drop those questions below. Drop them because again, we're bridging the communication gap in our marriages. There's no reason why we should not be talking to our boo. All right. So I want you to finish this sentence and say it out loud. It would help me feel more connected if we could. And you're going to fill in that blank. Now, again, you put this in your own style, your own tone. You know, I always talk about how me and Chef, we communicate. I would go to him and say, hey, babe, you know what will really be cool for the both of us? How about if we could talk about what happened last month or last week? How did you feel about that? I could go to him, but like, yo, look, I did not like. No, let me rewind it. Let me be real. Yo, I ain't like what you said last week. That was jacked up. Da 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 da. My hands moving, my neck rolling, all of this kind of stuff, right? That's not gentle. That's creating more. Because remember, I tell you, conversations, your disagreements and all that, it does not have to be Like you don't have to argue. Plain and simple. You don't have to argue. You don't. I know, contrary to the belief, where people think, oh, you got to get your point across, you got to do the hand and the eye roll and the neck roll and all that. You don't have to do that. That's your boo. Why would you want to do that? You want to have gentle conversation, and the conversation can still be firm but gentle. That's your baby. That's your boo. Why you trying to be enemies with your boo? No, we're not doing that. Not on my watch. Okay. So number two, I want you to again know that your spouse can't meet your needs if you never voice them. So don't expect your boo to know what you're thinking. Use this. Talk. Talk it out. Okay. All right. Number three. Number three. I want you to shift how you respond in the moment. Ooh, I know. Shift how you respond in the moment. The tone, patience, and presence. That's what safety sounds like. If your spouse opens up, give them space. Don't rush to fix, defend, or shut it down. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. It's all about that tone. You're going to have a gentle, loving tone because, again, we're bridging that communication gap. We don't need a rah rah rah, like we don't need to be at each other's heads with it. You know what I mean? Don't want to do that. So listen, I want you to try this TLC move with your boo. Next time they share something hard, like that hard conversation, I want you to try responding with, thank you for telling me. I'm listening. I'm listening. Thanks for sharing. I hear you. I hear you. And my husband has he's good with that. He would tell me, and I had to get used to that, right? Yes, your marriage communication coach had to get used to that because he would say, I heard you. And in my mind, as a woman, as a wife, I would be like, he ain't hear me. He just said that to be quiet. Da, 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 da. He just said that so I can shut up. Like I'm just going off, right? He literally was like, I heard you. So basically, he was telling me, I hear you. I'm not ready to chat about that just yet, but I heard you. So what do I have to do? I had to respect that space because he wasn't trying to rush into it. I was trying to rush and like, listen, we're gonna get this done. We're gonna talk about this thing, da 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 da. But I also had to learn to say, wait a minute, to be fair to him and myself, let's not rush this conversation because when we have this conversation, I need both of us to be present. I need both of our tones to be gentle. I need both of us to be in that safe space in our home or wherever we may have the conversation. And guess what, y'all? It works. hmm That's why I'm your marriage communication coach. I'm trying to tell you, it works. When you change that tone around, when you change that motive around, like, versus, right, we going to do this. I've been there, done that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It does not work. You're not going to get your point across by being, trying to bully the conversation, trying to bully the time. We need to talk now. Da 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 da. We need to do this. No, 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 no. This is your boo. You should not be at odds with each other. If anything, you're on the same team. You want to resolve this issue, whatever the communication, whatever the conversation is needed, you need to resolve it, right? So you want to have the best resolution ever. You want to be at peace. Your end goal is to be at peace with each other. Be peaceful in your home. And a lot of times, those conversations, you're going to look back and you'll be like, you know what? It wasn't even that serious. It wasn't. It wasn't that serious. What was I fussing about? Right? So listen, I want you, this is your reflection homework. Yep, y'all got homework. You got homework. It's right there in the notes. I want you, which of these actions do you need to try first in your marriage this week? So you got the rest of the week, and I want you to think about it. Is it identifying the conversation you've been avoiding? Is it stop expecting, mind reading, starting and start speaking up? Or is it like the shift in how you respond? Which one resonates with you? And which one are you going to work on? Which one? So listen, if you are ready to connect, like seriously ready to connect, right? Um, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back and answer the questions. If you are ready to connect, I want you to make sure you connect with me at IamTrinetteLCollier.com. And we do have a question. She says, "What if they're not ready to discuss, but you are?" Good question. That's when you do step back. You have to allow that moment to take place. Remember, that's what I was just saying. You have to shift that how you respond in that moment, that tone, that presence, that patience. And sometimes it's not it can test you. It can test you. Just like I was saying, like I'm like, I want to talk now. Like I need to get this done. I need to get this out of my head now. But what happens is when you do that, you're not really ready to have the conversation because now you're reacting in emotions, right? You're reacting out of that urgency. And most of the time, our conversations, we just need to step back, we need to pause and breathe so that we can gather our thoughts, so we can know exactly how we want to deliver. Because I don't know about y'all, but me, I had to work on my mouth, the urgency, and just okay, and the attitude. Because if he didn't respond the way I needed him to respond, your girl had, thank you. I've been delivered. Uh-huh. That's why I'm your favorite marriage communication coach. I know. But I had to wait. I had to be patient with that. Now, grant you, I would give everybody else patience and grace in their conversations. But when it came home, it's like, okay, come on. You my husband. Let's talk. Let's get this thing going. And not realizing, wait a minute. If he wants to take his time, why can't I? And I guarantee you, by the time I calm down and realize, oh, okay, okay, I see, So yes, you take that time, and you have to understand it's not about rushing. You really have to think, am I really ready for this conversation? Or can I give it a few hours or maybe a day or two? But when we do come together for this conversation, I will be more at ease. I will be peaceful. I will have gathered my thoughts and what I really want to say. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope that helps. And if not, let's chat some more. Bopping my head in agreement. Yes. It's like, yeah. But I do listen. It's a learning curve, because again, I had to realize and understand the urgency was my urgency, right? You say I'm partially delivered. Yes, that deliverance, let me tell y'all. And that's one reason why I like coaching and being this coach for you all, because I'm honest with it. I'm honest and transparent with you, because let's keep it 100%. When we're ready to have these conversations, we want to go ahead and get it on out the way, because we got so much to say. We could probably have the whole book of what we want to say, and it don't even matter by the time we get done. Because it be all out of emotions, right? It's all out of emotions. And so that's why it's good for you to take that step back. Take that step back and say, you know what? It wasn't that deep. Now, again, I'm not talking about emergency. Some conversations you do have to have an emergency talk with it. And even then, you have to say, you know what? How do I want to communicate this with? For example, if it's something to do with your finances, and you're like, wait a minute, hey babe, we had about a couple of $100 in the bank. What's going on? I see that there was a transaction, da da da, you know, and you want to have that conversation. Or if it's something pertaining to the family that needs an urgent conversation, yes. But even then, you know how to stay calm, because again, we talk out of our emotions, the reactions, right? We're ready. We are just like, okay, I need to get this out. No, you don't. You don't need to get it out. You don't need to get it out right there, because the climate, the space that you're in may not be the right time or the space. And I know that's hard for most of us to believe because guess what? We haven't been practicing that. But I want you to go back and I want you to take a look at these three points, and I want you to apply it, and you're going to see a difference. You said that's true, pure emotions. Take it on the back. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. For your own good and theirs. Yes, you take that step back because guess what happens? You may not use profanity or you may not use derogatory words, but you could say some hurtful things out of your mouth and you can't take that back during these conversations. You want to know how I know that? Mm-hmm. Ask me. Ask me how I know that. You want to know how? Well, one, because I was there, and I'm like, and I used to justify, I didn't curse you out. I didn't say nothing bad or whatnot. It was true. I did not use profanity. I did not use anything derogatory, but I did use some words that were not conducive to the conversation. So guess what? My spouse was shut down on the conversation. And boom, then you have another issue, communication problem on your hand, right? Because my husband didn't feel like he was being heard, all because I wanted to rush the conversation versus listening to him and say, hey, you know what? Oh, okay, I get it. So when I tell you, it is that patience, it is that grace that you have to give your spouse, just like we do for everybody else. Consult Christ first, and Christ will definitely show you when and to say what needs to be said. I learned, yes, if you don't have a faith, or if you are not, if you don't have that your conversations in grounded in faith, yes, it would be so hard. But if you do, you definitely need to go in and pray about it, what you want to say, because again, this when you release stuff out, you can't take it back. You cannot take it back. You can't take that hurt back. And sometimes your spouse is just like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to talk anymore. And then that's when you're gonna be like, there's no but, because you already cut that conversation down. You already cut your partner down. You know what I mean? So listen, I hope that this was good for you, was healthy for you. Again, take down the notes. If you missed Marriage Monday, you can go back on my post on my page and or the YouTube. Go back, get those notes, because today we're applying. Talk It Out Tuesday, we apply what we learned on Marriage Monday. Because I'm not just gonna give y'all things and just leave you hanging, right? I'm gonna show you how to do it. All right, got to show you how to do it. I'm all about showing you how to, because we're in this thing together. I wanted to see you win. Your marriage is already thriving. It's thriving. But sometimes you may need that little support in communication. It's okay. It is definitely okay. And that's why I'm here. Your favorite marriage communication coach, Coach TaShon. So listen, I want you to stay connected. Make sure you sign up on the email list. Subscribe to IamTrinetteLCollier.com. And listen, let's get this thing popping. Y'all, let's bridge this communication gap. There is no reason for us to be arguing and just at each other. Y'all, this your boo. This is your boo, right? Y'all been in this thing 7 years plus. This is your boo. Y'all are teammates. Ain't no no, y'all are this your boo. Okay? All right. So let's do this thing. Let's do this for 2025. Let's bridge that communication gap. All right? Let's start talking with each other. Let's start being there. You can do it. You can listen. You can do it. Okay. So thank you again for joining me. Thank you, Swag Her. Again, make sure that you're going over to their page. Tell them, hey, subscribe. They are phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. And come back next Tuesday for Talk It Out Tuesday, but Marriage Mondays on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Talk It Out Tuesdays on Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just connect with me throughout the week as I throw out those tidbits. So I told you I'm not going to leave you hanging now, right? I'm not going to leave you hanging. but I need you to connect with me, all right? And check out the calendar. We have some amazing events coming up. And but if you subscribe to the email, you'll definitely be able to keep up. All right. So listen, I want y'all to enjoy this evening with your boo. You got some homework. If you've been taking your notes, you got some homework to do, and I want you to do it. You're gonna check in with me next week, and we're gonna talk about this thing, y'all. It's the end of April, like yeah, we're almost to the end of April. So that means I got some new stuff for you for May. I got you covered. All right. Thank you so much. You too. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your boo. Go do some things with your boo. You married. Go do go do some things with your boo. I ain't telling you what to do. Just go enjoy your mate, babies. All right, go enjoy. All right, until tomorrow. I think I'll see y'all tomorrow. But until then, I love y'all. Peace.